Caught a mud puppy. You guys see they got feet like an eel tail. Alright, how is everybody doing this morning? It is 4:15. I've been up since 3:15, traveling over here to Paul's house. We're going to meet up with him, and we are going to have just a interesting fishing trip for you guys today. It's almost laughable, to be honest with you. It's the 8th of March, and if you guys are from Maine, you know that we just had some warm weather and got pounded with some rain.
No.
We kept telling everybody we would do some pike fishing this year. We haven't for the last couple of years. It doesn't matter to us how the ice conditions are right now. It doesn't matter to us that it's going to be 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It doesn't matter that there's 6 to 10 inches of slush on the ice. As long as it doesn't go over our boots, we're going to give it a try. There's going to be a lot different about this video. I'll apologize now for the long intro, but with the winds, I don't know how much we're going to be able to explain stuff. So for those of you that watch all my videos, you're going to see a lot of different things in this video. One difference is going to be I'm going to be using my heritage traps instead of my jack traps. And if you're not from Maine, just to fill you in, those are both tip-up traps, and it's kind of a big competition in Maine on preference and who likes what better. I switched over to jack traps a couple years ago. There's a couple things I don't like about both. There's a couple things I really like about both. So I saved my heritage for pike fishing. That way, if I want to go pike fishing, I can just grab that setup without having to change a bunch of stuff over. Or if plans change last minute, I don't have to swap everything back. So so we got the heritage today. Northern Pike have really sharp teeth, and they can be pretty big. So you got to change out your leaders, obviously, from what you were using with lake trout and salmon and stuff. We're using live bait, dead bait, and I actually grabbed a package of hot dogs because I think that's hilarious and I want to try it. And then the other thing is, even though Paul and I have a combined 3 four-wheelers and 3 snowmobiles, and a undisclosed amount of money with the upkeep and registration of all those things, it doesn't matter because we're going to be getting out on the ice today with this machine right here, the muck boots. So because of that weather that I told you guys about, we're not going to beat our snowmobiles all up putting it through the slush, and the edges of the ice might be a little bit sketchy anyway. So we're just gonna walk out. So we've gone extremely light. We pretty much have our augers, our traps, a chair. We're using a tiny, I call it a one-man shack, but it's, I guess, technically a 2-man shack that Paul has. And other than that, it's pretty much just like lunch, bait, and whatever light stuff that we could throw in the sled. So we're going a little bit of old school, no electronics, no jigging stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So this isn't a day for the fair weather fishermen. Going into it, we know this could turn into a miserable day. Pike fishing a lot of times can be very slow as it is, so we're just having the mindset of kind of a humorous trip. Like, are we really going out with the weather the way it is, the ice conditions the way they are? And the ice conditions are safe. It's just gonna be slushy. So it should be interesting. You guys should be in for a good one. Like I said, the wind might prevent me from really talking to you guys, but hopefully we at least get some footage of some action and get some pike on the ice. We got about a half-hour ride. We'll see you guys out there. Well, what an absolute surprise this was. So we just walked all the way across. It was pretty slushy the first, I don't know, 5 steps. And then everything hardened right up. We got the shack up, a little bit of wind. There has been some pretty nice sized gusts that's come up and hit us. But I'm on my 4th out of 5th trap. And going to get all of our traps in before the wind gets too bad, which the wind was supposed to be the worst right now. So I guess forget everything I said earlier. I don't expect it not to get windy today, but pretty happy right now with what we got. The big thing is if we can get all 5 of our traps in and the shack set up and the shack doesn't turn into a kite and all of our traps are in without our hands freezing, the rest of the day should be cake after that. I'm using all dead bait, so checking it's not as important. Really, you just walk over, pick it up, look at it, and really you're only doing that not to see if it's alive, obviously, but just to basically jig it up in the water column, see if you can catch something's attention. Do that every half hour or so. I will say these tip up alarms go on these heritage traps a lot nicer. So here's kind of my setup. My furthest trap out is a quick strike rig, steel leader, with 2 treble hooks with a sucker. Then it's shiner with the single octopus hook with the fluoro. Third one is going to be back to the quick strike rig with a shiner. This is an octopus hook with fluoro with a sucker. And then I'm going to go behind the shack and I'm going to put my last one, and that one's going to have the old hot dog on it. We'll see how that works out. Pretty excited, to be honest with you. I was getting laughed at a little bit, but I'm hoping that's the one that goes off first, or the most, or gets the biggest fish. I don't care. I just hope the hot dog is the highlight of the day, and that'll make my day. So let's go get that 5th trap in, and then we're fishing. And a quick reminder, a lot of these Facebook pages are super helpful tools, but don't just sit on the couch and assume because Facebook said it was bad it's gonna be. I mean, we fully expected to fish no matter what, even if it was gonna be crappy. You don't have to make that decision. You can still drive out with limited amount of gear and walk out and make the decision in the morning. And if it's crappy, you're up and ready for the day and go home and get on that honey-do list. I prefer to get up early, even on the weekends, and enjoy my weekend with the most amount of time as I can, so it doesn't bother me to get up and go check some ice and not be able to fish. I mean, it is a bummer, but just get out there. Don't necessarily 100% go off Facebook. The groups that I'm in are pretty cool, and I mean, Maine has some pretty cool ones, and I'm sure your state does too if you're not from Maine. Or if you're in Canada, I'm sure there's some local sites that you can get some information on ice thickness, slush, snow, and different reports. So definitely utilize them, but I mean, it's getting toward the end of the season, so don't not go and maybe what could be your last trip just because other people are saying it's bad. I mean, there was pictures and videos here yesterday that were absolutely horrid. Like, even I was second guessing coming out, but we made it out and it's looking pretty good so far. Let's go get that 5th trap in. Well, I didn't get to my hot dog spot yet. Paul's got a flag at about the furthest trap I gotta walk to. Paul's using mostly live shiners, and he brined some smelt. Not sure what this is on yet. What's this on? I thought I had a flag.
I'm gonna let my hands warm up for a minute.
Jesus. Your hands look old?
That's out like halfway down. That's got a shiner. That one over there has got a jack smell. That are wicked nasty. There's no way that's. We could catch some decent bass on this stuff. aren't that good.
I went quick strike with a sucker, octopus with a shiner, quick strike with a shiner, octopus with a...
What do you have for water in there?
I'm getting down there under 10 feet now. I'm gonna put
rubber bands on a couple of those because I snapped a knot on that one. I had to put a knot on that one out there because I didn't grab another one.
I got a bunch too in my pocket if you ever needed it. I somehow made a loop around my button in a 1, and when I dropped the sounder down, it tied a knot right around the button.
Not huge. Bass.
I do like this green line. I like the orange, but... Nice little bass. We definitely expected we could hit some bass with the bait that we're using in the hook size. Wouldn't be out of the norm to get a few of those today. We welcome those. Haven't caught one all year actually, surprisingly enough. Usually I catch a ton of bass. I know we'll be going after them in the old kayak this summer. So stay tuned for that if you like the bass action. Come on now. I'd eat that if I was a fish. Let's try to get it a little bit more straight up and down here. Oh yeah. You wouldn't eat that?
That's that jack smell. That smell.
Paul's got a flag on the dead jack smelt. And just so we're clear, I don't want any comments on these forceps. I ordered the wrong ones. Yeah, I know. It's just in case it swallows it to its tail. The wind's picking up now. So we'll have to put you guys at a low angle so you don't blow over. Because we're gonna have to try to reel in each other's line. Gotta get a good pursuit angle. The Big Dipper was heading. Couple nice little bass. Paul's got another flag. I got a pepperoni sandwich.
This is a pike. is. It's stuck in the ice. Get the snow. We might lose this fish now.
Alright, just after 8 o'clock, we just moved all of our bait around. I now have 3 live bait, 1 dead bait, and 1 Oscar Mayer wiener. Still got the 2 smallmouth and 1 pike that Paul's caught. That's why I switched to live bait, because all 3 were on live. The wind is absolutely cranking. It's starting to get a little bit more steady. But with these Eskimo bibs, we haven't had to really sit in the shack. Actually, we haven't at all. Just put the wind to our back. We have Eskimo, well, I have an Eskimo jacket. Paul has striker. So if it gets too cold, we can put those on as well. Who's ever used the old Jawbone shack? This has been in Paul's attic for about 3 years. But we decided to pack light, so he brought it. Anybody out there still rocking one? So the conditions are better than we thought. The wind's pretty steady now, but I've come down with a nasty migraine, so fighting through that today.
That's probably a pike.
I don't want to freeze my hands, so I'm taking it. Huh? I don't want to freeze my hands, so I'm taking it before it takes out 3 miles of line like it was today. Got some big head shakes. Sucked on camera. Oh, I got 2 flags up now. They're spinning at all. Should I just go to the other one first? About the same.
That one's bigger. That one's a lot bigger, and I don't got my scale.
It's got scars all over it. I wish my trap was in it. Paul just got a flagged as soon as I stepped out.